Hi, this is Brian Aldrich from 4th Street Software. Today we're going to run through some game situations here with the 4th Street baseball game. So rather than set this all out with paper and cardstock and whatnot, what I've got going here is a computer rendition of the same thing. So I've got the player cards laid out. I've got a map of the baseball field and so on and so forth. I even have a lineup sheet, score sheet that I made with another video that I made yesterday, and I've got the results chart. Some of this is a little bit on the blurry side, so please bear with me. I may have to expand on what you can see a little bit myself sometimes. All right, and I've got dice up here. These are 2d10. This is my d20, and I've got a pair of d6 over here on the right. So, first of all, the D10 are combined whenever you roll them. So basically what you end up with is a percentage situation from 0 to 99. The D20 is used to resolve the matchup. So who won the matchup? 4th Street Baseball is all about matchups. And over here, the D6 are actually added together, and they correspond to these numbers here. So basically it tells you which row to use on which card. This tells you which card to use. This tells you who the two players are in the matchup. And these two tell you which row on the card to use in order to find the result. All right, so let's get started. First of all, let's roll the dice and see what happens. So I get all 5 of these a spin here, and as you can see, I've got a 20 with my 2 D10s, a 5 with my D20, and a 4 with my D6. All right, so first things first, we have to figure out what the matchup is. So first of all, Budden is a right-handed hitter. And if I look over here, Gabler is a right-handed thrower, a right-handed pitcher. And I need to use the matchup column. We're using the basic game right now, so we're just going to simply ignore the count situation for the most part. And I've got a 20 here that'll help me find out what the matchup is. So I look in the matchup section under the R column because Budden is a right-handed hitter, and I find out where 20 falls. If you look down here between second and third base, second base goes through 18. After that, third base would go from 19 to 25. So this ball has been hit to the third baseman. Okay, well, the next thing I need to do is figure out who my third baseman is that the ball was hit to. So we look on the Yankees side of the score sheet here. And what we've got is third base is way down here. That's Gil McDougald, and he is a 6. That's very blurry. Sorry about that, but you'll have to take my word for it. Oh, that's a little better. So anyway, McDougald is a 6. And now we'll go back to the cards here and take a look. So McDougald is 6. The ball was hit to the infield. We have a right-handed pitcher on the mound in Gabler. So if you look in this section right here, the hitting section for Budden, you'll see that against infielders, his rating is a 15. 15 minus 6 is 9. That's the number we compare to the D20. So on rolls of 1 through 9, Budden wins the matchup. On rolls of 10 through 20, McDougald would win the matchup. We have a 5, so that means Budden has won the matchup. So that means that the result will be read off from his card. We now look at the D6, add them together. We've got a 4. Here's 4. Carry over to the infield section against right-handed pitchers, and we see a result number of 10. Okay, now on our chart here, we see that that is a single to the defensive player called up in the matchup. So it's a 10. The player in the matchup was my third baseman, whose position number is 5. So literally it's a 15, which means it's a single to the infield. If there were any runners on, they would advance one base, but there aren't. And so consequently, Budden is led off the game with a single. We'll take one of these little markers here and put him on first base. We've got nobody out and a runner on first. Okay, I'm going to send Budden to the back of my list then. And Pete Runnels is my next batter up. Okay, Pete is a left-handed hitter. Gabler again is a right-handed hitter, a right-handed thrower rather. And we'll go ahead and re-roll my dice. Okay, and my 2d10 added up to be 52. So my matchup is 52. Let's check out Gabler's card here. 52 against a left-handed hitter would mean that the ball was hit to the right fielder. Okay, so let's zoom out there. Go back to my score sheet here. Right fielder today is Yogi Berra. He is a 3. Not the best. Predominantly a catcher, of course. And Runnels, on the other hand, against a right-handed pitcher for the outfield, his grade is a 15. So 15, take away 3 is 12. And lo and behold, our D12 is a 12. Our D20 is a 12. So Runnels has won this matchup. He gets an 11. And now we go ahead and check out what the result is. So under the right-handed pitcher, under the outfield column, across from number 11 is a 70. All right, so let's check out what a 70 is here on our results chart. Whoop, wrong one. Scroll down, 70. Okay, we have 70 to 76 now. Again, 70 is just a generic reading. This chart doesn't show much of that, but just as was the case back up here with the 10, where I added the player position to the 10 in order to get let's see, I guess it was a 15. I'm going to do the same thing when I get to a 70. So the ball was hit to the right fielder. The position for a right fielder is 9. So in actuality, what we had was a 79. It's a deep fly ball out. Runners on second and third advance one base. The runner on first may attempt to advance. It's a little iffy, so I think we'll just hold the guy there. We'll hold Budden at his own base. So we now have one out. I'm going to mark that up here with my token. And Runnels is gone, so we will send him to the back, and we'll end up with Frank Malzone. Frank is a right-handed hitter against a right-handed pitcher. So we'll go ahead and roll our dice again. And we get a 48 with a 6 on my D20 and a 7 for the total. 48. Okay, so first of all, again, we have to look under the right-handed column here. 48 would be hit to the right fielder. So that's Yogi again. We're really testing Yogi's range, I guess, a little bit. And we already know that he's a 3. Since we just rolled it. Frank, on the other hand, has a 15 rating again. So 15 take away 3 is 12. We have a 6 here for the D20. So that means Malzone has won the matchup. He got a 7. So if we look under the outfield column across from the 7, we see a 20. All right, 20. Now, let's go down to the chart and see what a 20 is. 20 again, just like 10 and 70 before, it is a generic number. The ball was actually hit to the right fielder, so that turns it into a 29. It's a double. And the runner may attempt to take an extra base. Let's maybe try that. We'll see how things go here. So we've got a double. Let's look back on the sheet here. I'm going to advance Budden all the way to third. So he's rounding third. Malzone touches first, goes to second. And let's see what the deal is with lead rating. So I'm going to sift down. Of course, Budden's almost to the bottom of the pack. There he is. Okay, his running rating is a 14. Okay, now if we look at Yogi, and I can do the same thing. Actually, it's also on the score sheet that we saw a little bit ago. He has an arm rating of 0. All right, so 14 plus 0 is 14. So now I'm going to re-roll this dice and see if Budden scores. We're going to send him. You get a 14. He is safe at home plate. And we've got a 1-0 score for Boston. All right. So now Malzone will just hold there. We do have the option of sending him to, but we're not going to get into that at the moment. So we'll send Malzone all the way to the back, and now Vic Wertz is my next hitter. So we'll roll the dice. There's 1 on, 1 out. We get a 72, a 5, and a 10. Okay, 72. So again, we'll go ahead and look at Gabler's matchup section. Oh, I forgot to look at what type of hitter Wertz is. He bats left, apparently. All right, so against lefties, we had a 72. That's way down here. Results are rolls, I should say, of 54 to 94 are against the pitcher. So let's look at the pitcher a little bit more closely. Wertz is a left-handed batter. We threw a fastball to him. His rating is a 3. And then we look at Wertz against right-handed pitchers. His rating against a pitcher is 16. So 16 take away 3 is 13. 5 would indicate that the offensive player wins the matchup. So we're going to read the result off from Wertz's card. So I can't the D6 total is 10. So we look under the pitcher column, right-handed pitcher, 10 is a 95. Now usually the best chances you have, or the most frequent things you'll see on a pitcher versus hitter matchup are going to be walks and strikeouts, but not all of these guys walk, not all of these strike out. So a 95 is actually a pop out. Now one would be a pop out to third base. The runners hold, and so consequently there are 2 away. All right, so let's advance my token here. 2 outs, 1 runner on. And we'll send that guy to the back, and Bobby Thompson is up. That must have been near the end of his career, I would assume. Okay, so let's roll the dice. We get an 87 and a 1 for the D20. And we roll the dice. Okay, 87. So first of all, we need to look at what the matchup is. 87, and Thompson was a right-handed hitter. So 87 would be another versus pitcher matchup. Right-handed hitter, he's a 5 against fastballs. So, and Thompson is a 13 against right-handed pitchers. So 13 take away 5 is 8. 1 wins it for the offense. So we look on Thompson's card across from number 6, and we see that there is a 44. Okay, well, let's take a look at the results card. 44, the results chart, I should say, rather. We get a walk. Okay, so Thompson is now on base. We have runners at first and second with 2 away. And our next batter is Gary Geiger. Okay, Geiger is a left-handed hitter. So, let's roll the dice. And we get a 33, 13, 11. All right, 33. Let's look up the matchup. It's against a left-handed batter. 33 would indicate that the ball was hit to the shortstop. That would give him 25 through 35 there. So we have an infielder type situation. And once again, we can look at our lineup sheet. For the Yankees, the shortstop was, of course, Tony Kubek, Gold Glover with a 7. And now we can compare Geiger's versus infield here to a 7. So he has a 17 rating. Take away 7, we give a 10. Okay, and right now it looks as though that matchup is won by Mr. Kubek. All you got to do is find him. There he is. There's Tony. Okay, we got Tony Kubek, and he won the matchup. My dice roll was an 11, so I just need to bring him to the front here so I can actually see what I'm looking at. And let's see. I already forgot what the dice roll was. We got an 11. Okay, across from 11 and under the shortstop column is a 16. So the result code for 16 is a single to the infield. Okay, so despite the fact that Kubek won the matchup, he lost the war. And consequently, the ball bled through for a single, infield single, so he was able to hold on to it. Everybody advances 1 base, and now we have bases loaded. So sacks are full for Lou Clinton. Right-handed batter. Let's roll the dice. 95, 16, and we've got 9. Okay, so 95. First of all, let's look on Gabler. Okay, right-handed batter. We swing down here, and let's see. The results from 52 all the way up to 95. We just missed the threshold there. Are against the pitcher. Okay, so against right-handed batters, fastball thrower, he has a 5 for the rating. We've seen that already once. Clinton, on the other hand, has a 13 for his rating against right-handed pitchers. So 13 take away 5 is 8. Gabler has won that matchup easily. So we're going to read the result off from his card. The D6 has a 9 total. So we will look under the right-handed batter section with the fastball across from number 9, and we see a 43. 43 is right down here, a strikeout. So bases were loaded, 2 outs, but Clinton could not come through, and consequently, the inning is over. Red Sox lead 1-0 after the first half inning of play.